G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and welcome to another mission. This time we are in the East China Sea. We've been given a new mission to hunt down a pack of Chinese diesel-electric submarines that are currently harassing Japanese shipping just south of their coastline. So at the moment we have identified the targets as 2 improved Kilo class submarines and a Ming. Now I'm making the assumption that these are Kilo improved and not standard Kilo class submarines, mainly because, well, it would make sense in my opinion. In truth, the Kilo and the Kilo improved have identical signatures, so telling them apart is near impossible. Now I'm just looking at the Ming here. If it goes active sonar, it's definitely going to detect as passive sonar. However, it's getting awfully close, and so are the other 2. The improved Kilo, we're at -17 on passive. If we look back at the Ming, we're at -3. -11 on the other Kilo. So we're going to have to make our attack now. We're going to launch without sonar being active. And hopefully they won't hear the launch transients. Now, the torpedoes that the Seawolf fires, the improved capability Mk./48s, they're not actually meant to have a sound when they swim out. So they're not meant to have a launch transient, but they do in cold waters. So, yeah, you gotta account for that. Anyways, torpedo 2, away. Firing 3. And firing 4. And Ming's detected us. It heard the swim out that shouldn't exist. Activate sonar, send torpedo 2 for the Ming. Now switch to torpedo 3. Gonna send that to Sierra 3. And then switch torpedo 4 to Sierra 2. Again, activate the sonar. Now at this point we can start manoeuvring the submarine to avoid the torpedoes that have just been fired at us, and if the wires break, the torpedoes should still get on target to track. Even the Kilos aren't that far away, so the torpedoes should catch them before they can get out of the way. And start reloads, and all 3 have broken. I sort of knew they would. Alright, so speed set to 15, so we don't cavitate at this point. Down on the ballast, -30, down on the planes, -30, so we're at full descent speed at this time. That's the Ming launching a noisemaker. So torpedo 2 is already tracking the Ming. I'm sure it'll catch it back. That's 600 down. We're going to head for 1,000 feet, I think, and then we'll drop into silent running and level it out. That should get us below the detection cones of these torpedoes and have us basically disappear to these 3 submarines. It's ultra quiet. Impact 1 on the Ming. I'll let that get a little bit too deep. Alright, let's bring the planes up 30 so we can actually start to level this thing out. We're actually going to be closer to 1,200 feet at this point. And it looks like torpedoes 3 and 4 are still on target at this point. I think we're going to change heading just a little bit here. And we're going to head straight for the wreckage of the Ming. We'll let the sound of her sinking actually cover what little noise we're actually making. The Kilos have fairly reasonable passive sonar. They're far enough out at the moment they won't be able to hear us, even at silent running, but if we put ourselves over the wreckage of the Ming, they won't be able to hear us at all. So they should have nothing to counterfire against. Not to mention that if by some horrible occurrence our torpedoes, since they are off the wire, turn around and come back in our general direction, I can use the wreckage of the Ming to potentially get them to get off my my sonar signal and get them to start tracking the Ming instead. So essentially use Sierra 1, or the wreckage of Sierra 1, just there, as a massive countermeasure. Just lost Sierra 3. Still got Sierra 2 at this point, however. It should be just about... Actually, it should already be active at this point, so that's actually a little worrying. It hasn't seemed to have detected a target. Although Torpedo 4, heading for Sierra 3, has changed course. So it's picked up a target. Sierra 3 has been detected. Torpedo 3 is... No, it looks like it's just... Yeah, it's just changed direction. So, Torpedo 3 has acquired Sierra 2. We've now got a better signal on it. And Torpedo 4, I think it was we fired at Sierra 3, is now tracking Sierra 3 as well. You can see the position of the noisemaker dropped on Sierra 2 in comparison to the direction of the torpedo and the location. There it is. We've got an updated location on Sierra 2. So Sierra 2 is now at an accurate spot. Lost Sierra... Oh, Sierra 3 got sunk. There we have it. Didn't even drop a countermeasure. Never mind, Sierra 2 is now our current active target. Torpedo's still tracking. Once again, we'll adjust course here a little. And the torpedo's lost track here. And that looks like a bit of a search pattern. Come on, you can find it. It's right there. Come right to 304 Helm I. Alright, it's possible that Sierra 2 may have just managed to dodge the torpedo, so... Oh, another noisemaker. What is this torpedo doing? If this does lose track, we're in a position to be able to fire another torpedo without any issues at this point. The target should have no idea where we actually are. And we can pump one up from, you know, nearly 1,200 feet, bring it to the surface, or bring it up to depth and take this kilo out. Another noisemaker dropped. It does look like the torpedo is actually tracking. There we go, it's broken lock again. Yep, those are closing together. I think it's yep. There we go. Despite all the countermeasures, it did manage to track the target onto point. Okay, so the results, 1 Ming and 2 kilos, so they weren't kilo improves after all. We're down to 19 torpedoes. We still have all of our missiles and all of our moss on board, so that's okay. Very pleased to see that you have dealt with those subs with determination and resolve, Commander. Remember that for every enemy vessel we take out, it means safer transport for our troops and transports. Good work. Further orders will be transmitted via this downlink. Okay, and looks like we made the papers as well. Wolves driven off. Incidents involving attacks on convoys by hostile submarines in and around the North Pacific have rapidly diminished. Yep, so we've managed to clean up the targets. This was still a little easy. I'm looking forward to the Soviets getting involved in this and starting to bring some of their toys down. Hopefully this won't be too far away. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to do it again here. If you have been a subscriber for a long time, you may have already noticed this. YouTube has been playing around with its subscription notification system. Apparently, being subscribed to a channel is no longer a good enough reason for you to actually be notified of new content. So if you go through to my main page for MagzTV, next to the subscribed button there will be an hourglass. Click on the hourglass and it will make sure that you are notified of any additional content or new content that has been released. On the off chance, however, that YouTube also screws with this notification system, also be sure to check the channel every couple of days for new content, because I do release relatively regularly. Anyways, ladies and gents, until next time, remember to click that like button, share and subscribe if you would like to see more, and as always, take care.